In the heart of global intelligence, one organization stands out for its effectiveness, secrecy, and unwavering commitment to national survival: the Mossad. This Israeli intelligence agency operates in the shadows, a silent guardian protecting its nation from existential threats. From the bustling streets of European capitals to the remote deserts of the Middle East, Mossad operatives work tirelessly to gather intelligence, neutralize threats, and ensure the safety of their homeland. The agency has been linked to the assassinations of high-value targets, the sabotage of enemy programs, and the rescue of hostages from the clutches of terrorists. The Mossad's origins can be traced back to the tumultuous years before the founding of Israel. Jewish underground organizations recognized the critical need for intelligence gathering and clandestine operations. From its inception, the Mossad has been tasked with fighting an invisible war, a constant struggle against those who would seek to annihilate Israel. Its agents operate under a veil of secrecy, often assuming false identities and living for years undercover in hostile territory. The seeds of the Mossad were sown in the clandestine world of Jewish resistance movements in Palestine. One such organization, the Haganah, emerged as a leading force in the Jewish community's struggle for self-determination. Veterans of these underground movements would later form the backbone of the Mossad, bringing with them a wealth of experience in clandestine operations. Their experience in operating under oppressive regimes, evading capture, and striking at the heart of their enemies would prove invaluable in shaping the Mossad's ethos and operational tactics. The birth of Israel in 1948 marked the beginning of a new battle for survival. The War of Independence highlighted the critical need for a professional intelligence service. In December 1949, the Mossad was formally established to gather intelligence, conduct covert operations abroad, and protect the Jewish state. Prime Minister Ben-Gurion envisioned the Mossad as a force multiplier, a way to level the playing field against larger, more powerful adversaries. The Mossad's early years were marked by a sense of urgency and improvisation. Its agents, often working with limited resources, carried out their missions with ingenuity, daring, and unwavering loyalty to Israel. The Mossad's initial focus was on gathering intelligence about Israel's Arab neighbors. Agents infiltrated Arab governments, military organizations, and even terrorist groups, providing Israeli leaders with critical insights into their enemies' plans and capabilities. The presence of former Nazi scientists working on Egypt's missile program presented a unique challenge for the Mossad. The agency launched a campaign of intimidation and sabotage against the German scientists and their families. Parcel bombs were sent to their homes and offices, striking fear into their hearts and disrupting their work. Israeli diplomats worked behind the scenes to pressure the West German government to recall its citizens from Egypt. The Mossad's campaign of intimidation and sabotage against the German scientists was a risky gamble. The attacks, carried out with clinical precision, were designed to spread fear and disrupt the missile program without leaving a clear trail of evidence. The psychological impact of these attacks was significant, undermining morale and prompting some German personnel to reconsider their involvement. Critics argued that such tactics crossed a moral line, but supporters maintained that Israel had a right to defend itself by any means necessary. The Mossad continued its clandestine operations across the Middle East, establishing networks of informants and agents in Arab countries. Recruiting and running agents in hostile territory was a dangerous and delicate task. One of the Mossad's key targets during this period was Syria, a staunch enemy of Israel. The Mossad worked tirelessly to penetrate the Syrian government, military and intelligence services. The Mossad's reputation as a ruthless and efficient intelligence agency was cemented by its involvement in a series of high-profile assassinations. Targeted killings, while controversial, have been a cornerstone of Israel's security doctrine since its founding. The Mossad's assassins, known as Kidon, were highly trained operatives skilled in a variety of lethal techniques. Each operation was meticulously planned and authorized at the highest levels of the Israeli government. One of the most famous examples of the Mossad's use of targeted killings was Operation Wrath of God, launched after the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre. The Israeli government authorized the Mossad to hunt down and eliminate those responsible for the Munich massacre. Operation Wrath of God was a global manhunt, spanning continents and lasting for years. Despite controversies, the operation achieved its primary objective: dismantling the Black September organization. As the 20th century gave way to the 21st, the Mossad faced a new challenge: Iran's nuclear ambitions. The Mossad was tasked with infiltrating Iran's nuclear program, gathering intelligence and sabotaging its efforts. One of the most audacious operations attributed to the Mossad was the assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists. The killings, while never officially claimed by Israel, were widely believed to be the work of the Mossad, demonstrating the agency's willingness to use lethal force to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. The Mossad's campaign against Iran's nuclear program was a shadow war, fought in the realm of espionage, sabotage, and targeted killings. This covert conflict was not just a series of isolated incidents, but a meticulously planned and executed strategy aimed at crippling Iran's nuclear ambitions. It was a conflict waged largely out of sight, its successes rarely acknowledged, and its failures even more rarely discussed. The clandestine nature of these operations meant that the world often remained unaware of the high-stakes maneuvers taking place behind the scenes. Yet the stakes of this secret war were incredibly high, with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. The potential for a nuclear-armed Iran posed a significant threat not only to Israel but to the stability of the entire Middle East and beyond. The Mossad's operations inside Iran were fraught with danger. Each mission required careful planning, precise execution, and a deep understanding of the local environment. Its agents, operating undercover in a hostile and heavily policed state, risked exposure and capture at every turn. The constant threat of betrayal or discovery loomed over every operation, adding to the immense pressure faced by these operatives. Many were caught and executed by the Iranian authorities, their sacrifices largely unknown to the outside world. These agents paid the ultimate price, their stories often untold, their bravery unrecognized. Yet, despite the risks, the Mossad persevered, driven by a sense of duty and a belief that it was engaged in a fight for Israel's survival. The agency's operatives were motivated by a profound commitment to their mission, understanding the critical importance of their work. The agency's campaign of sabotage and assassinations, while controversial, undoubtedly slowed down Iran's nuclear progress. These actions, though morally and legally complex, were seen as necessary measures to protect national security. The killings of key scientists and the destruction of critical facilities set back Tehran's nuclear timeline, buying Israel and the international community valuable time to pursue diplomatic solutions. Each successful operation was a calculated move in a larger strategy to delay and disrupt Iran's nuclear capabilities. The Mossad's actions, while often operating in a legal and moral grey area, demonstrated the lengths to which Israel was willing to go to prevent a nuclear-armed Iran. These efforts highlighted the complex interplay between espionage, international diplomacy, and national security, showcasing the relentless pursuit of a safer future. The Mossad's use of targeted killings has long been a subject of intense ethical debate. Proponents argue that Israel has a right to defend itself by any means necessary. They see targeted killings as a legitimate tool of last resort. Critics challenge the morality and legality of extrajudicial killings. They argue such actions violate international law and set a dangerous precedent. Targeted killings, often carried out in secrecy, amount to state-sponsored murder. Instances of mistaken identity and civilian casualties highlight the ethical pitfalls. The clandestine nature of Mossad's work complicates the debate. Secrecy is the lifeblood of intelligence agencies. Without the ability to operate in the shadows, to gather information and conduct operations without detection, the Mossad would be severely hampered in its ability to protect Israel's security. However, the imperative of secrecy comes at a price. often requiring a trade-off between national security and democratic values. The Mossad's cloak and dagger methods, while essential for its operational effectiveness, can also create a climate of suspicion and distrust. The agency's tendency to operate outside the bounds of public scrutiny, combined with its reputation for ruthlessness, has led to accusations of unaccountability and a willingness to operate above the law. This perception, whether justified or not, can erode public trust in democratic institutions and create a sense that the ends justify the means, no matter the cost. Furthermore, the Mossad's reliance on deception and covert action can have unintended consequences. The agency's use of false identities, forgeries, and other clandestine techniques, while necessary for its work, can undermine international norms and sow distrust among nations. The exposure of Mossad operations, as in the case of the botched assassination attempt in Jordan in 1997, can damage Israel's diplomatic standing and harm its relations with other countries. Holding intelligence agencies accountable is a perennial challenge for democratic societies. These agencies operate in the shadows, often beyond public scrutiny, making it difficult to ensure they adhere to democracy and justice. The need for secrecy clashes with transparency and oversight, creating a tension with real-world implications for how intelligence agencies operate and are perceived by the public. The Mossad's critical role in safeguarding Israel's security, combined with its clandestine nature, makes accountability elusive. Its operations are often shrouded in mystery, with successes and failures rarely made public. The Mossad is subject to oversight from the Israeli government, including the Knesset's Intelligence and Secret Services Subcommittee, tasked with ensuring legal and ethical operations. However, the agency's operations and budget are often shrouded in secrecy, making effective oversight difficult. This raises questions about accountability and potential abuse of power. The Mossad operates with a high degree of autonomy, its actions largely hidden from public view. This autonomy allows swift action but also creates opportunities for misconduct. The ethical implications of the Mossad's actions are complicated by the nature of its work. Intelligence gathering and covert operations often involve legal and moral grey areas, creating ethical dilemmas for operatives and officials. This reality creates a dilemma for those overseeing the Mossad, balancing accountability with the need for the agency to operate outside conventional morality. The challenge is to protect national security while upholding democracy and justice. From its inception, the Mossad has been forced to adapt and evolve to meet the ever-changing nature of threats facing Israel. The agency, once primarily focused on its Arab neighbors, has had to expand its reach to address new challenges, from global terrorism to cyber warfare. This evolution has required the Mossad to embrace new technologies, recruit a diverse workforce, and develop innovative tactics. One significant change is the shift from a regional focus to a global one. The rise of international terrorism and the proliferation of nuclear weapons have forced the agency to expand its operations far beyond the Middle East. The 21st century has witnessed a dramatic shift in warfare, with cyber attacks emerging as potent tools for espionage, sabotage, and disruption. Unlike traditional warfare, cyber warfare operates in the digital realm, targeting the infrastructure modern societies depend on. This new form of conflict can be waged anonymously, complicating international responses. The Mossad has invested heavily in developing its cyber capabilities, transforming into a leading intelligence agency in cyber espionage and offensive operations. This strategic shift allows the Mossad to defend against cyber threats and proactively engage in cyber warfare. The Mossad's cyber unit, Unit 8200, is responsible for gathering intelligence on foreign governments and terrorist organizations, conducting cyber attacks and disrupting enemy communications. Unit 8200's operations are shrouded in secrecy but have a global impact. The unit's operatives are highly skilled hackers, computer scientists and linguists, capable of penetrating secure systems and deciphering complex code. Their expertise extends beyond technical skills to a deep understanding of the geopolitical landscape. Unit 8200 has been linked to sophisticated cyber attacks, including the Stuxnet worm targeting Iran's nuclear program in 2010. This operation demonstrated the potential of cyber weapons to achieve strategic objectives without conventional military intervention. The unit's capabilities provide Israel with a significant strategic advantage in the digital age. By leveraging cutting-edge technology and innovative tactics, Unit 8200 safeguards national security and projects power in the cyber domain. The Mossad's embrace of cyber warfare reflects a broader trend among intelligence agencies worldwide. Nations are increasingly investing in cyber defense and offense, leading to a new era of digital arms races and cyber diplomacy. As technology advances, the cyber domain will become more important for espionage, sabotage, and influence operations. The rapid pace of innovation presents opportunities and challenges, requiring constant vigilance and adaptation. The Mossad, with its history of innovation and adaptability, is well positioned to remain at the forefront of cyber conflict. By evolving its strategies and capabilities, the agency ensures it can navigate the complexities of the cyber frontier, securing national interests in an interconnected world. The Mossad's legacy is one forged in the crucible of conflict, its history intertwined with the survival of the State of Israel. From its humble beginnings as a small band of operatives, the agency has evolved into one of the most formidable intelligence services in the world, its name whispered in hushed tones in the corridors of power. The Mossad's operational history is a tapestry woven from daring raids, clandestine assassinations, and ingenious acts of sabotage. Its agents have tracked down terrorists, disrupted enemy weapons programs, and gathered vital intelligence to safeguard Israel's security. Their actions, while sometimes controversial, have saved countless lives. The Mossad's legacy extends beyond its operational successes. The agency has shaped Israel's image on the world stage, contributing to a mystique surrounding the organization. This image, while exaggerated, has served a strategic purpose, deterring potential adversaries and bolstering Israel's security. As the world enters an era of unprecedented technological change, the Mossad faces new challenges and opportunities. Cyber warfare, weapons proliferation, and new terrorist threats require the agency to adapt its tactics and technologies. The old rules of espionage are being rewritten in the digital age, forcing the Mossad to evolve. One pressing challenge is the changing nature of terrorism. Decentralized terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda use encrypted communications and social media. The Mossad has had to adapt its methods to counter these new threats. Cybersecurity will continue to be a top priority for the Mossad. Pause 3S. The Mossad's global reach, pause 2S. As one of the world's most renowned intelligence agencies, the Mossad's influence extends far beyond Israel's borders. From the streets of Tehran to the alleys of Buenos Aires, the Mossad has conducted audacious operations that have shaped global security. Pause 2S. One of the most notable missions took place in 1960 when Mossad agents captured Adolf Eichmann, a key architect of the Holocaust in Argentina. This operation not only brought Eichmann to justice, but also sent a clear message to war criminals worldwide. Pause 2S. In the 1970s, the Mossad's Operation Entebbe became a legend. After an Air France plane was hijacked and diverted to Uganda, Mossad provided critical intelligence that enabled Israeli commandos to carry out a daring rescue mission, saving 102 hostages. Pause 2S. More recently, the Mossad has focused on thwarting Iran's nuclear ambitions. Covert operations, including cyber attacks and targeted assassinations, have delayed Iran's nuclear program and underscored the Mossad's capabilities in modern warfare. Pause 2S. The Mossad's global reach also extends to the fight against terrorism. In 2018, Mossad agents retrieved a trove of Iranian nuclear documents, revealing the extent of Iran's secret weapons program. This intelligence coup had significant geopolitical repercussions and showcased the Mossad's ability to operate deep within enemy territory. Pause 2S. However, the Mossad's international operations are not without controversy. The agency's methods, often involving targeted killings and covert actions, raise ethical questions and sometimes strain diplomatic relations. Pause 2S. Despite these challenges, the Mossad's relentless pursuit of its objectives has cemented its reputation as a formidable force in global intelligence. As new threats emerge, the Mossad's global reach will continue to play a crucial role in shaping the security landscape of the 21st century. Pause 2S. The Mossad's ability to adapt and innovate, coupled with its unwavering commitment to protecting Israel, ensures that its legacy will endure. The world may change, but the Mossad's mission remains the same: to safeguard the State of Israel no matter where the threats may arise. Pause 3S. The Mossad's global reach a testament to the power of intelligence, courage, and the relentless pursuit of security. Pause 3. S. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadows. Until next time, stay vigilant.